Welcome, everyone, as we go back in the time machine. This is Kevin Harlan, joined by Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, as we get set to look at an all-time scoring leader in the NBA.
That's right, Kev. We'll be checking out Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and the scoring machine he was as we watch him lead the Lakers against a very tough Boston Celtics team.
Not only do we get to see a bit of Magic versus Bird here in this one, but we'll see a lot of Kareem versus Parrish. A great scorer against an outstanding defender. A lot of who wins this one will depend on who can control the middle.
So there it is, the Lakers against the Celtics, another chapter in history about to be explored as we are ready to get things going. Look at the lineup now. The Sky Captain Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is in the middle. Magic Johnson and Byron Scott of the Laker backcourt. Providing the scoring up front, James Worthy and Green. For the Celtics, they'll have Robert Parrish at the center. Danny Ainge is joined by Dennis Johnson in the back. They are your point and shooting guards. Then that dynamic forward tandem of Larry Bird and Kevin McHale fill out the rest at the 3 and the 4. Now, here is Abdul-Jabbar. And the hook shot's good from Kareem.
His release point on that sky hook is so high, it's basically impossible to block.
When you talk about all the great scorers in the history of the NBA, Jordan, Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is above all of them in career points.
Lets it go. James Worthy comes up with a rebound. The Lakers on offense. Johnson kicks to Abdul-Jabbar. Stolen by Parrish. Bird right side. Can't hit. And the Lakers go with it the other way. Johnson kicks to Green. Abdul-Jabbar dishes to Green. And it's the Celtics with the ball. Here's Johnson. Straight up. That one goes. Count it. Here's Johnson. You bring up Kareem's scoring record. It's part of his skill and his durability to get to that top mark.
Now, make no mistake. I mean, he could light up the scoreboard better than anybody in NBA history. That sky hook was absolutely unstoppable. That's 2 buckets in a row now for Kareem.
Here's Ainge. McHale outside. Scott against Ainge. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Johnson. Dishes it to Parrish. And the rejection by Abdul-Jabbar.
So far, just 20% shooting coming out of the gate.
Stolen by Bird. He's guarded by Johnson. Shot's good from Bird. And this game is tied up now.
And one of the things that made Bird so difficult to cover was the combination of his height and the angle of his shot. He released the ball kind of out and over his head, so very difficult to challenge him.
You know, you're all over it there, Steve. I mean, a big part of why he was such a great shooter was his size and that unique release angle you talked about. It was really hard for smaller players to bother or distract his shot.
Rambis is checked in for the Lakers. And the Celtics making a change here as well. Wedman's checked in. And Abdul-Jabbar no good on that one.
There is Kareem in his trademark goggles. Really became a bit of an iconic look for the big center from UCLA.
Johnson against Scott. Back to Bird. 6 to shoot. He's guarded by Johnson. With 1 on the clock. Larry Bird again. Bird's got his second basket of the night. Steve, funny you mentioned Kareem and his goggles. He actually needed them because of a scratched cornea. They weren't just for show.
No, Kareem wasn't that way now. Whatever he was wearing, he was doing it because he needed it. It was part of what he needed to be at his best. It wasn't anything about fashion. And he had that cornea scratch in college and again in the pros. Once it happened in the NBA, he decided to go with the goggles full time, and it ended up being part of his uniform. But nobody was better at putting the ball in the basket than my idol, Lou Alcindor, now Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Now Bird following the three-point attempt by James Worthy. Bird outside. Shoots over Worthy. Bird misses.
He had a defender draped all over him. Not really the best shot there.
Well, not the shot you hope for when it's well contested like that.
Now, throughout his career, Magic was a regular at the All-Star game. 12 trips to the event in 13 seasons.
So the Celtics called timeout. They're first.
Well, some missed opportunities offensively, and this is a good timeout. Let these guys get a blow, take a breather, get their legs back under them, and then refocus.
And some changes here for the Lakers. Thompson, he's checked in for Abdul Jabbar. Green comes in for Rambis. And it's Cooper in for Byron Scott. And for the Celtics, Walton comes in for Robert Parrish. And it's Easting in for Dennis Johnson. We've got 1:13 left here in the opening quarter. Easting passes to Walton. Takes it right up, and he makes good on the layup. And that'll tie this game up. I'm talking about Magic Johnson's all-star performances, Steve. You were just saying he was the MVP of that game twice as well. Clark in 90 and then again in 92.
And who could forget his performance in that 92 All-Star game? I mean, his three at the buzzer was really the icing on the cake as everybody on the floor gave it up 2 and 4 Magic.
Here is Easting. Now Bird. Here's Wedman. And the pass to McHale. He feeds it to Bird. Just 5 to shoot.
Great awareness by fouling on that layup, making earn 2 points.
Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer. I mean, send him to the line instead of giving up an easy 2.
That one is off. Sinks the second. Here's Johnson. 29 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Goes up. Magic knocks it down. He shot 52% from the field in his years with the Lakers.
Well, using his height advantage against a much smaller man, that was the right play to make there.
Stolen by Magic. Plays it in off the breakaway. Johnson's got 6. Here is Easting. He's guarded by Johnson. The rebound by Cooper. Deflected. And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. Lakers lead by 5.
Now the key has been the rebounding department. This club dominating the paint area. And if this continues, they'll be in great shape.
Well, they've done 2 things. They've limited second chances, and they've been able to flex their muscle down low.
And we'll return momentarily. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up.
I think one of the great things about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was his consistency as a player. He was so good for so long. In fact, it's difficult trying to figure out what was his best season.
On the court for the Celtics, second quarter underway. Ainge is out there with Walton. Then it's Parrish. Then there's Easting. And it's Johnson in at the point. Here is Easting. Clock at 6. There's the 3. The shot by Ainge, no good. Thinking about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's best year, you could look at his 72 season with the Bucks and maybe even his first season, Clark, with the Lakers back in 76.
Well, it's one of those two, I think. I mean, he averaged 35 points and almost 17 rebounds a game in 71. In 76, he averaged almost 17 rebounds a game and more than 4 blocks per game as well. So, I mean, pick either one of those seasons. Both were phenomenal.
Cooper kicks to Abdul-Jabbar. Here's the hook. And Abdul-Jabbar buries the sky hook.
Kareem starting to light it up, guys. That's his 4th straight move.
Thompson against Ainge. Seasting passes to Walton. Leans inside and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
And Walton came to the Celtics late in his career. Still an important role player for Boston.
And really, guys, just a perfect complement to this Celtics team, which is ability to pass as a big man and be productive in limited playing time.
First free throw is good.
Walton won the 6th Man of the Year with Boston late in his career.
Yeah, it was a great role for him, guys, after his injury. I mean, to come in for spot minutes and just keep the machine chugging along, it was a hand-in-glove fit for Bill Walton.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Thompson, he's checked in for Abdul-Jabbar. Rambis comes in for Green, and James Worthy is subbed in for Thompson. He's perfect from the line this time.
And you look at this Celtics team, interesting. Kevin McHale and Danny Ainge, both from this Celtics team, went on to be general managers for the Wolves and Celtics, respectively.
Yeah, you know what? There was a little suspicion when McHale sent KG over to the Celtics. People wondering if the old teammates really still wore Celtic green underneath, but I think McHale is too competitive to let that happen.
Here's Vincent, defended by Scott, and it's blocked. Lakers leading by 5 from 11 feet away. Worthy, no good.
Bird actually averaged about 10 rebounds per game in his career, which a lot of people forget because most people think about him as just a wonderful shooter and passer. He's a pretty big, strong guy, and he's got a lot of work done on the glass.
Bird left side. No one near him. The Lakers with the rebound. Worthy, the pass to Cooper, and it's McHale picking him up. Outside Worthy.
Hey, get there, get there.
On the wing, Scott for 3, and that one's good. Scott's got his first 3 points of the game. Thinking back on Bird's rebounding, Clark, he was 6'9", about your size. He was not afraid to mix it up and get on the boards.
No, not at all. And he was an excellent defensive rebounder. I mean, you don't just walk into 10 rebounds a game by accident. I mean, he knew where to be, understood how to position his body. Wasn't a great leaper, but a lot of good rebounders aren't great leapers. I wasn't a great leaper, but was really a good rebounder. He just went after the ball with tenacity and purpose, and that's what made him, I thought, an outstanding rebounder.
And the Lakers with some changes. Abdul-Jabbar is checked in for Thompson. Thompson comes in for Byron Scott, and it's Johnson in for Cooper. Then for the Celtics, Robert Parrish is checked in for Walton, and Dennis Johnson's subbed in for Vincent. Now here's Johnson. Ainge kicks to Bird. Feeds it to Parrish. Good, and it's Bird picking up the assist. Parrish has got 4 this quarter.
You know, when this front court came together for Boston, it was really something special. I mean, in 2 years, they added Bird, McHale, and Parrish. That's really borderline unfair.
Yeah, that's right, because after Larry's rookie year, they traded for Parrish and the 3rd pick from the Warriors, and then used that pick to select Kevin McHale. And then those 3 guys just grew together over the next decade and became absolutely dominant.
Johnson outside. Abdul-Jabbar backs down. With the hook shot. Rebound Boston. 1:20 left in the first half. Here's McHale. It's rebounded by Johnson. Straight up. And Abdul-Jabbar gets it to go. Abdul Jabbar's got 10 points in the game. Now, here is Ainge. Still looking to get on the scoreboard. And Worthy picks him up defensively on the wing. Bird. All sorts of time. It's rebounded by Johnson.
Well, it's nice seeing Bird and Magic out there. One of my favorite quotes was when Magic said, when the new schedule would come out each year, I'd grab it and circle the 2 Boston games. To me, it was the 2 and the other 80.
You know, Kevin, that just goes to show how competitive those two were. It really just came down to how they would play against each other.
Here's Abdul Jabbar. Well-timed pass, and he goes straight to the bucket for the layup. And it's a 10-point Laker lead. And here is Ainge. Back to McHale. McHale, right side. On the mark from 16 feet out. 6 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Stolen by Parrish.
Well, that was a serious heave there. You can't blame him too much for not being able to corral it in.
And so that's the end of the first half. More from Los Angeles after this. And now the third quarter about to get going.
Kareem was my first basketball idol, and what's amazing to me about him is the way he played, and as long as he played. I mean, this guy played 2 decades and still averaged between 30 and 40 minutes a game for most of that time.
Byron Scott out there with Magic Johnson. And it's Green, then it's Kareem, and it's Worthy in at the 3 slot. That's who's in the game for the Lakers. No good. And the Lakers go with it the other way.
How about the body control, guys? He goes up strong, doesn't he?
Well, you bring up Kareem's durability. Fewest games he ever played in a year was 62. Most times he topped 80.
Yeah, and to play 80 games day in, day out, logging 40 minutes, dragging Lanier and Walton up and down the floor, that really is his legacy.
Now here's Bird. 7 points in the game. Bird can't get that one to fall.
Well, they've built a big lead here so far, and a lot of it has to do with how well they've been rebounding.
Yeah, every time they make a stop, they're securing the rebound, and that's really allowed them to get out to this lead.
Abdul Jabbar against Parrish. Hook shot on the way. No good from Abdul Jabbar.
Ainge was such a key player for those Celtics team. Very tough player at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, he was an old school guard, kind of a combo guard, could handle it a little bit and also play off the ball, and needed a tough guard like him in this era. He was fearless out there and really got under people's skin because he never gave up and played extremely hard.
Green, no luck. Celtics trail by 10. Ainge with the ball. Looking for his first bucket of the game. Looking to get it going. Controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
That was an important bucket. They're only 1 of 5 now, so they really had to get their offense clicking.
Pass to Green. He's against McHale. Green dishes to Johnson. Kicks to Abdul Jabbar. Defended by Parrish. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
Most of Kareem's points today have come from inside. That's where he's most comfortable. You want to talk about immediate impact. Kareem took the league by a storm as a rookie. Just ran away with the Rookie of the Year award.
And the Celtics making a change here. Wedman's checked in. The and one is good, so a 3-point play that time. Steve, you talked about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's rookie season, then Lou Alcindor, 29 points in about 14 and a half rebounds. I mean, simply amazing.
And nobody was surprised, guys. I mean, everybody that followed college hoops and saw Kareem walk into the NBA knew he was special. And he showed it with those kind of numbers right out of the gate.
Time called here. The Celtics decide to talk it over.
And you think about the Miami Big Three. How about the Boston Big Three back in the day? Bird, McHale, and the Chief.
Yeah, you're right. And had the modern cap structure been in place back then, they all would be near max deal guys. It's amazing the talent that the Celtics had assembled then.
Now here's Johnson. He's guarded by Johnson. Now Bird. 5 on the clock. Over Johnson. A nice shot by Bird. Bird's got 9.
Well, they've done a lot of their damage from mid-range here, guys. I mean, knocking down those shots with regularity.
Yeah, how about 8 of their last 10 points, guys, coming off that mid-range area jump shot. So it shows you don't have to be at the rim to score.
The finger roll finish. A little finesse for you, folks.
Lakers leading by 7. Johnson kicks to Abdul-Jabbar. Kareem going right at the Chief and scoring.
One of the things that really made Kareem special was not only his size and agility, but he was ambidextrous. I mean, he had the ability to finish with both hands around the basket.
And he was camped in the lane there, and he gets the 3-second call. And some changes here for the Lakers. Brikowski, he's checked in for Green, and it's Thompson in for James Worthy. Then for the Celtics, Ainge comes in for McHale, and it's Easting in for Dennis Johnson. Here comes Magic. 10 points for him.
I got it.
Johnson left side. Goes up and lays it nice and easy. Johnson's got 4 points this quarter. Clark, you talked about Kareem. It made his hook shot all the more powerful because he could go to his left as well as he could go to his right.
Well, the hook is pretty much impossible to guard, especially when it comes from somebody as tall and long as Kareem. So once he got that groove going and he got into his little rhythm, it was almost unfair. That thing was automatic.
Abdul-Jabbar. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
So far in the game for Kareem, he's got 17 points and also a block shot.
Pretty much unguardable out there. He has just been fantastic in this game.
Oh, it's been a stupendous performance, no doubt.
No good on the free throw.
You know, I think my favorite Larry Bird quote comes from Magic Johnson when he said, "Larry, you told me one lie. You said there will be another Larry Bird. Larry, there will never, ever be another Larry Bird." High praise, and he just might be right.
Well, the closest I've ever seen to Larry Bird would be Dirk Nowitzki. He has, that similar shooting stroke, that size, the rebounding ability. Bird was the better passer, but Dirk Nowitzki probably as close to Larry Bird as we're ever going to see in our lifetime.
Now here's Parrish, and the shot is good. Parrish has got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
And I think defensively, you've got to commit a second defender because he's just destroying you right now.
Yeah, one-on-one, he's been a handful. You know, I think the best quote about Magic Johnson, guys, comes from James Worthy. I don't think there will ever be another 6'9" point guard who smiles while he humiliates you. Sounds about right to me.
Yeah, I don't think we'll ever see another 6'9" point guard, period. But Magic's smile was so full of genuine happiness and excitement about playing the game that it was hard to get mad at a guy, even as he dropped a triple-double on you.
He hits both from the stripe. There's 47 seconds left to play in the 3rd. Passes it to Wedman. He dishes it to Parrish. A baseline J, and he put too much on that one. Lakers leading by 12.
Well, despite the size disparity, he boxed out, did a really nice job going up and getting that rebound.
Redmond the pass to Ainge. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. Right up. Johnson with the defensive effort. Now Thompson. A 12-point game. With 4 seconds on the clock. Scott. Good. Scott's got 5 now. Throws it from deep. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Really an incredible game from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, he's done a great job of finding the soft spots in that defense. A very efficient game for him so far.
Yeah, and I like what he's done, Steve. I mean, he's made a couple of jumpers here or there, but what he's really done impressively is allow the game to come to him.
Lakers on top. They lead by 14.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, one of the great players of all time and one of the great champions. 6 championships in all for the big center.
And a look at the 5 for the Celtics to start the fourth quarter. We've got Kevin McHale. Vincent is out there with Johnson. Then there's Ainge, and it's Walton in at the 5 down low. Now here's Worthy. Fades and shoots. Gets it to go. Worthy's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Lakers. Steve, you're talking about Kareem's rings. He showed he could get them being the guy, as well as working off another star.
Well, he got his first one in '71, Kevin, and his last in '88 in terms of championship rings. A lot of players played their whole careers in that time span, and Kareem was effective throughout that 18-year period.
And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
Well, another item that Kareem can lay claim to. He's won the most MVP awards of all time with his total of 6. Not sure we'll ever see that matched.
Here's what the Lakers are going with right now. Rambis comes in for Green, and it's Burkowski in for James Worthy. And that one falls for Johnson. Talking about his 6 MVPs, Jordan and Russell both have 5. It's going to take a once-in-a-generation player, you would think, to even challenge Kareem's mark.
I don't know if anybody will get there. I mean, he was so dominant, and that 6 MVP mark of Kareem's, I think it's safe for our lifetimes, Kevin. I'd be surprised if anybody gets any more than that.
Celtics trail by 17. Johnson up and in on the layup.
Well, that's the problem. You turn the ball over and your defense just isn't set up at the other end.
And sometimes when it happens that way, it almost feels like a 4-point bucket.
Johnson, the pass to Burkowski. Johnson right side. With the shot. Rebound Boston. McHale's got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
Kevin McHale, probably the most famous Golden Gopher as far as basketball goes. I mean, he had quite a special career on the college stage.
2 open that time. Made it look too easy. Here's Johnson. Backs him down. The pass to Burkowski. Back to Johnson. Over Vincent. And the shot is good from Johnson. Johnson's got 11 in the second half. Talking about Kevin McHale in college, he didn't start out incredibly dominant, but his junior and senior years, he became a force.
He was always consistent in his college career, but the jump was made during his junior year. That's when he really got better, not only down on the block, but with his free throw shooting, and he became a double-double machine at that point.
Both teams deciding to change it up. Johnson. On the wing, Bird. Back to Johnson. The leaner inside. A rebound by the Lakers. Scott's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
You look back at Byron Scott, the way he carried himself on the floor as a player. You kind of had the feeling that he would eventually one day become a coach.
Yeah, you know, I saw that up close and personal when he was with the Indiana Pacers in the mid-'90s. He mentored Reggie Miller quite a bit, and he displayed that same kind of thoughtfulness.
Oh! Yeah, easy bucket for him there.
And finish he did. Took it hard to the rim.
And some changes here for the Lakers. Thompson, he's checked in for Green. Rambis comes in for James Worthy. And it's Thompson in for Byron Scott. And no problem at the line here for the three-point play.
And much more aggressive play has led to more free throw attempts for them here in the second half.
You know, that's how you do it, Steve. I mean, defender pressing up on you, you press right back, get into him.
And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Free throw good from Ames. Both free throws good from Ainge. Here's Cooper. Clark, if they want to, they can milk the clock just a little bit here.
Amen. I think that's the best option.
There's the feed to Thompson. Bird cover. Here's Brown. Blocked.
Still a close game here, though. That's surprising considering they're rarely grabbing any rebounds.
Got that bucket in no time at all.
That's exactly the kind of gritty play that Ainge came to epitomize.
1:32 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Cooper against Ainge. Goes straight up. Cooper with the bucket.
Looking to close this game out strong here.
Yeah, this one will be put away if they can get just a few more buckets and put it on ice.
Here's Parrish, and it's Boston with another.
That was just a perfect feed there.
Here's Cooper. Stolen by Parrish.
What a steal. That's some excellent defense right there.
Pushes up. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2. Parrish has got 4 points this quarter. 1:06 left to play in the final quarter. Lakers leading by 10. Here's Thompson. Expanding his range. Thompson misses.
Not the best shot. Long range and with a defender right in his space.
And defensively, that's the kind of work he's known for. I mean, he loves to lock you up.
Offensive rebound. And that one's good. McHale.
How about the determination right there on that putback?
Timeout called the Lakers. They're ahead by 8. 40 seconds left in the game. That is surprising. It's difficult to be in a game when you can't rebound.
But, Kevin, they're still in it. They still are in it. I can't believe that they've had so much trouble with the boards. We'll see if they can hang in there a little longer.
I can't believe it either. A platoon swap here for the Lakers. .40 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Johnson kicks to Abdul Jabbar. Parrish is there. Hook shot. And it's Abdul Jabbar getting it to go.
Well, they've looked good here tonight, and now they are coasting to the finish line.
Steve, just a matter of time right now.
Now timeout called by Boston. They trail by 10. There's 31 seconds left to play here in the fourth. What's your take, guys?
Well, we're not going to win this game, but at least you want to finish it out strong.
Well, there's no quitting them, that's for sure, Steve. You certainly can give them credit for that.
Here's Johnson. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
Brought back the finger roll. That's a nice finesse move to pull off with the defense all over him.
And the Lakers have possession. Earlier in the game, they had a 19-point lead. Count it.
That's probably going to do it. They are just putting this team away.
Steve, I thought they caught fire just at the right time, blowing this one wide open as the clock winds down.
Johnson outside. Abdul Jabbar backs down. And so it's the Lakers taking care of business here.
And when these two teams get together, you expect a show, and that's exactly what we got here.
Kareem and Magic were just too much for Bird and company in this one. So hard to stop these Lakers when they're clicking.
That'll do it for us in this NBA retrospective. For Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, Kevin Harlan saying thank you for joining us.